my dears, and welcome to my channel. My name is Lisbeth. I'm a published author and business owner, so I know how important it is to have a good logo. And many of you guys have been asking me to teach you how to make a logo, so here is the video, guys. And though my channel really focuses on artists and authors, this video can also be used for people who want to make a logo for their business. And please don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up if you find it useful. Don't forget to subscribe so that you will not miss out on more useful videos like this. And please follow me on Twitter and Instagram for pictures of me, my artwork, and nerdy things like this.
We ain't gonna sleep, it's night.
Yeah, so why not follow me? Let's have some fun together. Tip number 1, keep your demographic in mind. Demographic? Who is your target audience? Who are you targeting? If you're writing a story, what type of people do you want reading your story? If you have a business, what type of people do you want coming to your business to buy your products or ask for your services? So if you're writing a story, you're thinking, okay, the type of people who read my story, are they going to be children, teenagers, adults? Are they going to be in elementary school? Are they going to be in college? Are they male, female? These are all super important, and these are the exact same things you should be thinking about if you have a business as well. What type of people will enjoy your products? What type of people will need your services? Actually knowing if your demographic is mostly male or female, or if they're mostly kids or mostly adults, will actually affect your logo greatly, because depending on what your logo looks like, it's going to attract different people. If it looks too juvenile, it might not attract adults. If it's far too mature, it might not attract children. So really keep this in mind. Tip number 2, make sure your logo is easy to read. What I mean by this is sometimes people choose really thin font or really bubbly font, and it becomes difficult to read, especially when it's printed small on business cards or printed on a small book cover. You do not want to choose font that's going to be difficult for your people to read. You want people to know what it says. So what you should do is, even at home or in your office, try to print out your logo a few times in different sizes and see if it comes out good, if you can still read it. When someone looks at your logo, you have less than 30 seconds for them to decide whether or not to look more into your story, look more into your services, and so on, before they just walk away. So if they can't read it, you've just missed an opportunity to possibly attract a new customer. Tip number 3, make sure your logo is recognizable. Some of the most successful logos out there, this goes for anime, comics, businesses, the most successful logos out there can be recognized from super far away simply because of the composition, the design, and the colors used. You know what I'm talking about. You can take any of these logos and completely get rid of the name of the business or the title of the story and write different words, and people will still be able to say, isn't that the font from McDonald's or the font from Twilight? Isn't that the font from Dragon Ball Z? They're going to know what the font belongs to because of the colors and the actual font itself. So try to design something that is memorable. Tip number 4, remember that your logo is going to be your customer's first introduction to what you are offering them. What I mean by this is, it's actually pretty similar to what I talked about in my other video on how to design a book cover. I actually talked about, you're not supposed to judge a book by its cover. But let's be honest with ourselves. A book cover is our first introduction to a book. So if it's not designed well, it's not going to let us know what we're going to experience and how we're going to feel while we read the book. So it is super important that we design it properly so that when people look at it, they feel intrigued and want to learn more about the story. Remember, we have less than 30 seconds for someone to look at our logo and our covers and judge it and say, I want to learn more, or I want to walk away. So when designing a logo, it should also work together with the cover to get people interested in your story, because a bad logo could either attract or repel readers. So keep that in mind. It should really be a representation of what they're going to experience in the book. And the same thing goes for business logos as well. It should attract them and should give them an idea of what your business is about. So if it's more about banking, it's going to probably look more refined and more mature. Now, if your business offers beauty supplies, you're a beauty supply manufacturer or something, maybe your logo is going to look more elegant and more fancy because of what you offer. So now that you have all these tips in mind, how do you actually get started designing your logo? Well, like I said before, keep your demographic in mind. Try to make a little list of the qualities you want in your logo. Maybe your product or your story is more aimed at adult women, so you want a really fancy and elegant logo. So my recommendation would be go onto Google and Google fancy font or elegant font and see what pops up. You don't have to copy any of this font, but it can really inspire you. You can see some of the elegant swirls and be like, baby. oh. You don't have to exactly copy any of this font, but they can actually work as a really good source of inspiration, and they could actually guide you in the right direction while designing your logo. You could actually download the font, type out the title of your story or the name of your company, print it out and play around with the letters, maybe trace them, kind of edit them, see what you like. Just keep in mind that not all font that you find online are free to use. Some you have to pay for, and not all of them are free to use commercially, so they might not be legal to use some of those fonts. So be really careful on what fonts you actually find and use. Also, warning! Do not use other people's logos as reference. My child, let me emphasize to you that most logos, including my own, are trademarked. That means it's a federal offense to copy the logos. It is infringing on the rights of the creators of the logos. You can get into a lot of legal trouble. Like, you don't want to do that. So please do not use other people's logos as reference. Thank you. Thank you. And last but not least, this is mostly aimed at my younger viewers, especially those of you who aspire to be mangaka, make comics, and be writers. Do not be so hard on yourself. If you realize a few weeks from now, a month from now, or a year from now that you don't like your logo anymore, it's okay. You are a growing, developing artist. And actually, if you don't like it, if you don't like it a few months from now, that's a really good sign, because it might actually mean that you've actually grown as an artist and could do better in the future. You know what I mean? So don't be so hard on yourself if you feel, oh my god, my logo isn't good anymore, I don't like it, I don't know why. It's okay. Just keep playing with it and editing it, and in the future when you're finally ready to get published, you'll finally have a logo that I'm sure you'll be proud of and will be excited to have printed on your covers. So don't worry, guys. Don't be so hard on yourself. Just have fun with the process. Ask for some feedback from your friends and family, and you'll eventually come up with something that you really love. I hope this was super useful and will guide you on your journey as you create logos, guys. Don't forget to give it a big thumbs up if you found this useful. Don't forget to subscribe, and also check out my other videos that share a whole bunch of tips, tricks, and hacks on how to do all sorts of different things. The link to my playlist of artist life hack videos is right there in the description box below. And follow me on social media so we can be nerds together. Let's do it. Until next time, guys, please take care, God bless, and do not be afraid to nerd out. Take care, guys.